up on today's episode of GameShell, PlayStation Now's beta prices revealed. But are they too expensive?
Also, game developer Phil Fish causes an uproar on social media. That and much more coming up next.
Welcome to today's episode of GameShell. I'm Holly.
And I'm Danny. Let's jump right into our new segment, Game Corner.
Fez game developer Phil Fish released a statement on Twitter following the news that YouTuber PewDiePie earns $4 million a year for his Let's Play channel. Fish said in a series of tweets, quote, YouTubers should have to pay out a huge portion of their revenue to the developers from which they steal all their content. Revenue should be shared with the developers. This should be built into YouTube. Anything else is basically piracy. He goes on to tweet, if you generate money from putting my content on your channel, you owe me money. Simple as that. If you buy a movie, are you then allowed to stream the entirety of it publicly for people to watch for free? No, because that's illegal. Systems are in place to prevent that, but by Fez, put all of it on YouTube. Turn on ads, make money from it, and that's totally fine. And the developers should in no way be compensated for their work being freely distributed to the world. Right? Makes sense. After an overwhelming negative reaction, Fish tweeted nevermind and locked or possibly deleted his Twitter account entirely.
The PlayStation Now beta went live a few days ago along with some of its new temporary prices. It works essentially like Blockbuster's rental service, paying X amount of dollars for X amount of days. As seen in the picture, PSN will charge you $4.99 for only 4 hours of Ben 10 Omniverse 2, which is insane when you think about it. Time flies when you're having fun. Imagine how much fun you'll have when you can't progress in a game because you've maxed out the game's rental time, thus making you pay more money to rent the game again. But don't worry, PSN thought this through. They have a 7 days option, a 30 days option, and a 90 days option as well, with a steadily increased pay scale. The good side of PSN is it looks to only include actual time played. So for instance, you rent this game on a Monday for 7 days and pay $6.99. You'll actually have the game for 168 hours of gameplay, not from Monday to that following Monday. This system is definitely interesting, but if I'm going to play a game for 168 hours, I'd rather simply own a physical copy of the game, but that's just me. Also to note, all of this is subject to change since it is in beta. Besides the point, it'll be smart of Sony to think up of a subscription method like Netflix than a rental service like Blockbuster.
Just as a reminder, don't forget to register your copy of Mario Kart 8 before July 31st to receive one of these 4 great games.
New Super Mario Bros. U, Pikmin 3, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD, or Wii Party U.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of GameShell.
Don't forget to click on the button below to see last week's episode, or alternatively, click on the button over there to see this week's episode of GameShell Let's Play with Dave and Brendan.
And don't forget to subscribe.
This week's episode was brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
America runs on Dunkin'.
Episode of GameShell, PlayStation Now beta released.
She's so full.
Okay.
An asshole. Or on social media. That much more on GameShell. Damn it.
Let's play!
That's all, folks.